Welcome to Civitai.com, the home of the generative AI art community. If you enjoy this video, please consider hitting us with a like and subscribing, as it'll go a long way in helping us continue to bring you the highest quality AI community content. Please enjoy the video. Boom, turning my audio on Twitch. What is up? Welcome to a very special Civitai creator session. My name is Tyler. Man, I got a good one for you guys this week. Again, I say that every week, but it's only because that is what we do here. So this week, I am fortunate enough to be joined by my good friend, Lola Viscera. And before we go ahead and introduce Lola, I want to show you guys I have her Instagram profile on the screen right now. It is pinned to the top of the Twitch chat. If you guys try to click it and go there without being logged into your Instagram, it's probably going to tell you that you can't see it and that it's an age-restricted profile. Lola walks a very fine line on Instagram with the type of stuff that she makes, but we're going to dive into that. However, I just wanted to point that out. There's nothing wrong with the link. You're just going to have to be logged into Instagram, and your birthday in Instagram will probably have to be 18 or older for you to see her profile. But if you are not already following her, go follow her now. And if you still need to be convinced, I promise you by the end of this stream, you will want to follow her because she makes some incredibly cool things and she doesn't hold back. So without any further ado, let me get this full screened. Boom, boom, boom. So, Lola, welcome.
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much.
Before we start chatting, Twitch, Lola, give me a test so Twitch can tell me if your volume is good.
Test. Everyone hear me okay?
Twitch, are we good?
We good.
Thumbs up. 10 out of 10. Got it. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Okay,
so, Lola, before we start rolling and we start talking about the variety of things that I want to talk about, why don't you go ahead and just introduce yourself to the people, tell them who you are, what you do, and maybe how long you've been in AI now.
I'm Lola. I have been an artist for my whole life, but professionally probably for about 10 years now. And I've been in various industries, namely branding, photography. I recently have started working with Arcana, where I do a bit of art direction and advising. And I've become addicted to AI probably for about 2 years. Since it came out, since Disco Diffusion days, that's how long I've been in here.
Since this, okay, so I didn't even know that you've been around since Disco Diffusion. So you are probably beating out most of the people watching the stream, myself included.
Wow. Okay. Amazing.
So okay. The stuff before you start showing anything or whatever, the stuff that you do.
Yeah.
Describe what would you like if you had to describe your niche to people? How would you explain it to someone who you're trying to explain to them what you do?
Okay, I don't think you and I we haven't even talked about this. This is a first time conversation for us, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, that's a very good question. Recently I've been obsessed with tentacles. And I've discovered a way to make them. Well, when I discovered Midjourney, it was very difficult to get the kind of results that I was after, because I very much like texture and like wetness and stickiness, and like getting horror was very difficult out of Midjourney. Everything was censored. But recently I found that they've kind of loosened, either they've loosened up the rules a little bit, or I found a way to kind of get around it. But I like biology. I've always been fascinated with biology and nature, and merging different animals together, or plant life with animal life, mutants. I love all that stuff. And that's kind of what I like to explore. I have this is the first time speaking about this, but I actually have a degree in digital arts, a first class honours degree in digital arts. from 2009. Yay. And it's like, I wonder now how many people are in a similar position to me, where they've done all this like education and spending years and money on a degree, which is now kind of like, where I don't see myself ever using that degree now. Even with Cinema 4D, which is the 3D program that I learned back in uni, and that's how you make a creature 3D and make it move, right? 3D modeling. And now you can do all that in minutes in AI. So, yeah, I'm curious. This is a very interesting age for us. Humanity's never been here before. So I don't know if that answered your question.
No, you definitely did. So the direction that you've went in with the AI stuff, with like and we're gonna get into she's gonna show you guys kind of a little bit of her process and what she does, but the stuff that you are doing now with AI, was there any resemblance of that in the professional work that you were doing before?
Yeah. The creature design for sure. But it was like, for example, if you have to put a character sheet together for a concept design that somebody asks you for, that could take days or weeks. And then you have to go back and forth with the client, make sure that they're getting exactly what they need, which is such a long process. And now those character sheets can be put together in like an hour. So yeah, I do see that there's a huge benefit there with AI.
Okay, so here's something really, really good that someone actually just said in the Twitch chat that I would agree with 100%. And so Deary said, I think the knowledge that she got from her degree can come in handy in judging good generations versus bad generations.
Yeah.
So, because personally, I think with all this stuff going forward, especially as the technology evolves, the most important thing that all of us, everyone watching this stream right now, like everyone is capable of learning the tools to the same extent, barring some hardware limitations here and there, depending on what tool you're trying to learn. But the thing that everyone should be cultivating, or at least thinking about cultivating, is their taste.
Thanks. That is spot on. Yeah.
It's like, in a world where everyone can make whatever it is on their brain like that, what then is like the thing that sets you apart from everyone else? And it's the things that you're drawn to, that you like, because your interests are going to be different from everyone else's interests. So I really think cultivating the taste is the most important thing.
Yeah.
But okay, so walk us through the handful of tools that you currently use to do the things that you do. I know you're because you do most of your work on a Mac, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lola is not a stable diffusion enjoyer, guys, but we are branching out into all of the different sections of AI. But why don't you go ahead and tell them what tools you kind of bounce between to make the things that you make?
Currently, I have open Runway again, Luma, Midjourney, Arcana. That's what I have open right now. I was playing, what was the other one? It was Luma and Runway. That's my latest obsession at the moment.
So real quick for folks that don't know, tell them, and we won't stay on it for too long, but just tell them what Arcana is, because I'm sure that most people actually haven't heard of it.
Oh, sure. Arcana is a suite of tools. They're currently in alpha. So I'll show you quickly. I can't, actually, let me see if I can show you a little bit, because a lot of the stuff in here is, So you can conjure, which is sort of like imagine or generate. Put your prompt in there, make something. They've got a selection of models here. Then once you make something, you can send it through to transform. This is what I mainly use it for. I use it for transform. So I'll take an image from Midjourney that I make from here. So prompt something like one of these meat people, drop that into Arcana and transform it. Transform means you can make it into a metal creature, or in painting is in here as well. Or if you want to add more flesh and texture and wetness and stuff, I can do that in here. Or if I put two different aspects, like a head and a body, I can stick them together in Photoshop, drop into transform, make it look like it's one image, and then enhance, which is the upscaler. Again, you can drag and drop an image in there and do it like that. They've got a whole other bunch of tools coming out. They've got Doodler, which is like you can draw like a really rubbish drawing in seconds on the back of an envelope, which is amazing. And then finish it off, like make it look like it's a finished piece, which ties in together the like hand-drawn aspect with AI really nicely, which is what drew me to it.
So would you be able to show the group here maybe like a before and after image of like what one of your images starts off as and then where the final product ultimately ends up?
Yeah, let me find one. Oh, I don't know if this is if we want to go too far into my stuff that I'm making here, but here we are.
I'm gonna put you back on the screen, and you tell me after you found it.
Okay, yeah.
Lola,
Arcana is not censored as well at all. You can prompt anything, which is another reason I like it.
Lola's image gallery. I gotta remember.
Remember
as she's scrolling, we gotta keep her on the screen. Yeah. So okay. So here's a good point though, that just so you're aware, the majority of the audience that are watching this are like really big proponents and users of like the open source side of AI. And most of them, like when I tell them on the stream that I use Midjourney, sometimes they call me a traitor. And so it's a whole thing, even though we're trying to branch out.
Yeah,
and
I totally get that.
Have you thought about what if like one of these companies that you use, so let's say like Arcana, for example, if something happens and they go out of business, do you think it would be easy enough for you to pivot to another tool to continue doing the stuff that you do? Because it's kind of like the centralized versus decentralized discussion, right? Where like if everything you do is kind of dependent on a cloud service, on a website that's kind of closed source, where they own all the models and they have everything going on, what happens to all the stuff you do if that somehow just goes away?
That's a good question. I haven't thought about that. I guess the way that I see this technology, the same way that you can share now. I think this is safe-ish.
Yes. Yeah, it is. We are walking the line, but I think we're good. This is just an octopus. This Twitch,
just tentacles.
Twitch, censor gods. This is an octopus. If you think it is anything else, you
shame on you.
Shame on you.
But I think, to answer your question, I think I've always felt the same way about any new technology that's come out. It's a tool. Like any kind of AI is a tool. Any kind of software, like even Adobe, which is what I spend a lot of time in as well. If Adobe were to go under, which hopefully they don't. There's always going to be another way, another means to express what needs to be expressed. And I think, in a way, that competition is good. I think that's what makes companies want to be better all the time. I think that, if any company didn't have competition, then why would anyone want to become better? And one of the reasons I like working.
I definitely agree with that. So, okay, walk us through what's going on with the octopus here, with this glob of tentacles we got going on.
Okay, let me see if I can find the original. It's in here. See, if I search tentacles, I'm going to get so many tentacles. So I would make one in here. This is actually up. I made this into an episode of 2 a.m. Head.
And we're going to talk about that in a moment too, after we do this. Lola does this series on her Instagram that she calls 2 a.m. Head that is really, really great. And she makes these little like short form videos walking through her entire process of making these images. Which I think
I might have to.
Absolutely brilliant marketing name for the video series. Let me get her Instagram into the Discord. Sorry guys, I put it in Twitch.
I'm just making it up as I go along, that one. Like the title. Like, what can I call this? The reason it's called 2 a.m. Head was because it's making a head and it was always 2 a.m. that I happened to be doing it. Oh, I can't find the original. Let me.
Like her generations are literally her altering images of people's heads and faces. Guys, shame on you.
Yeah. Okay. I found some similar ones. Can you see my screen still?
Yes.
Great. So this is the original from Midjourney. And we're in Transform now in Arcana. And I just wanted to take this area here and add some more texture and detail to it. So we went in painting around here and then we put in the words that we want to see in the prompt. And then that's it. And then we enhance one of them. I think it was this one that was enhanced. Make it bigger. Add more detail. And that's it. It's kind of therapeutic for me doing this.
So, yeah, let's talk about that a little bit more. So, like, when you say like this is therapeutic for you, like in what it, because I know a whole lot of people that would say all we're doing is pressing buttons. There's no art to be had here. And the fact that you say that this is therapeutic for you, break that down a little bit more.
It kind of turns off this overthinking that I can get sometimes. Because there's a lot of pressure, you know, I have multiple businesses. There's a lot of different hats that I wear. And a lot of my days can sometimes be quite logical. I have to think professionally and speak in a certain way and present myself in a certain way during a lot of the week. And this is kind of turns that off. Creating art has always been like that for me. It feels like home, like I come home to this.
So, okay. Well, for one, I can definitely relate. I'm sure a bunch of people watching right now can relate to that. I'm trying to think the right way to ask this. You are the first woman creator that I've had the pleasure of inviting onto the stream. And truth be told, when we were first starting this, I was trying to find more because I wanted to have like a pretty even split of both like men and women that I bring on and showcase, because I wanted to show that this is actually a very diverse niche and that this is not only reserved for men, but there are, I feel like a lot of the women that do AI prefer to remain anonymous, or they don't, they're not comfortable being very front facing with it. Why, as like a woman who is doing this, why do you think that is? I
can relate to that. I have that other profile. Like it's a much bigger one than Lola Viscera, and I didn't like even getting on stories. Like I didn't want to do it. I was just shy. I didn't know what to say. I didn't think people wanted to hear what I have to say. But what really helped me on there was so many things. I was going to go off on one, but so many things have helped me. The space. There's this man. His name is. I'll give him a shout out. His name is I_mate_art. So I_M8_art. Check him out on Instagram. Do it now. It's amazing. He reached out to me. He does this like amazing anime sort of style, lavender landscapes, interiors, and just beautiful, beautiful artwork. He's so particular about his process, and I met him when I was doing disco diffusion, and he always pushed me to just do it better. Like, why aren't you upscaling? Like, you need to do this. You need to. Like, he always pushed me. And at this point, his account had like 100,000 followers or something, and I had like less than 1,000 on that account. And he spent so much time mentoring me and looking after me and like promoting my work and just lifted me up. And I was just completely humbled. Like, there was no need for him to do that, And then after a while, grew some confidence, reached out to some other people. Another person to look out for on Instagram is Ben Myrie. Absolutely incredible interior designer, artist. He also, like, him and I started talking when, he had way more exposure than I did, and he was collaborating with me. We went viral lots and lots of times. And yeah, again, like these people have become amazing friends. There's so many more I could mention. But those are the people that helped me to realize that what I have is something of value, and people do want to hear what I have to say. So that's kind of how I started getting on there and speaking. I think that there are some female artists I know who are like they are out on camera talking about things, but they're kind of like they've got courses or they're doing other businesses, so it's not like AI is not their main thing. So maybe that could be a reason. I've kind of dived into it because I have this itch that I want to scratch with what I'm doing with Lola Viscera, and all the, the gruesome, grim things that are in my subconscious. I just have to get it out. So this is my mission at the moment. And I've noticed that talking about it is kind of, a lot of people can relate to lots of things that I've been through and what I have to say. So it all fits together in my story. But I can understand why, especially with people, not just females, but anyone who's just starting out on this, it can be daunting to get on camera and speak. I totally get that. Yeah.
Well, we had a question in the Discord chat while you were explaining that. Which great answer, by the way. What was your inspiration for the interest in the horror stuff?
My inspiration
why do you feel so drawn to that side of it? Because Lola has another Instagram that, what's it called? Lolita Artwork, right?
Lolita Artwork, yeah. Lolita Artwork, in like there's just one A in the middle.
And what is mostly on that one?
That is, I started, you know what happened with that account? I'll tell you the story behind that one. I wanted to do I did a lot of life drawing, which is nude sketches of women and life drawing. I did a lot of that. And Instagram kept flagging me and kept removing my artwork off there. And it's like, guys, it's a sketch, come on. So that profile was supposed to be more, it was not supposed to be landscapes and interiors and things like that. That is another interest that I have. I think it's beautiful and calming. And I also write captions on there. It's sort of like a diary for me. And so many people message me that it helps them. Like the captions help them, and they enjoy going in there after a stressful day and stuff. But yeah, that was actually supposed to be what Lola Viscera is now. It just got pigeonholed. And now it's just landscapes.
Okay, well, so then going from the landscape stuff you were doing, which obviously you had success with, because I think that account is at what, almost like 50,000 followers on Instagram?
That's my next goal. It's at 43 point something thousand now.
So going from that to this side of things, like, let's go back to what makes you feel so drawn to the kind of like grotesque horror side of things. And maybe grotesque is the wrong word for it. I feel like it's the right word, but it feels like just like where's that pull coming from?
Why? Let's go all the way back to childhood. So I think this is where a lot of actually, I think this is the reason why a lot of new artists in AI may not make it, like for the long run, like for the long haul, because like you said, it's so easy to go into Midjourney, prompt anything, and it makes something cool. But what is your why? Like, why are you making that? And for me, when I was a kid, my most happiest moments, I remember my happiest memories were sitting in the garden, playing with earthworms, and just like looking at snails and slugs and insects. I love that. That was my world. I love that kind of stuff. When my mum would get fish and cut it open and prepare the fish, I'd be like, wow, look at its organs. So that's what fascinates me. Or like if you get a whole chicken that's still got its giblets, organs inside, I'm like, wow, how does this work? What are we made of? I find all that fascinating. I think it's endlessly fascinating. There's so much to explore, and now we can visualize it in a way that's like cool. I'm influenced by Carlos Huante. I don't know how you say it. Sorry if I'm butchering your surname, Carlos. He's an amazing concept artist. The way that he draws anatomy, he will draw like a mutated man crossed with maggot. But it looks like this creature could actually exist. Like the anatomy that he's done in the spine and the muscles, it's amazing how he's done it. And that crossed with Feng Zhu, who is another incredible concept artist. He did the artwork for Star Wars and lots of games. The way that he explains it is that it still needs to have something about it that is recognizable, and whether that's a face that you can kind of recognize in it or some other body part that you can recognize in this thing, that's what makes it relatable. Like, we recognize this, and that's the element of coolness, and that is the area of focus for me in Lola Viscera, is exploring those worlds, merging them together and seeing where it goes, and enjoying the journey most of all, more than anything else.
So okay, and you obviously have to enjoy the journey of doing it, because as you've come to realize, like, multiple times over, the platforms every now and then are going to put the lid on what you're doing and not let very many people see it based on what they deem to be appropriate subject matter.
Yeah, that's definitely something I've bumped up against multiple times across my journey. The stuff that we're seeing on Lola Viscera is not, like, to me, it's not new, because it's been in my subconscious and my art journey for my whole life. I've just now started focusing on growing that account and doing it in a way that is hopefully within the rules of Meta. But I found that as well. I keep the people that I follow like quite small because I want to maintain a group of relationships of people who I can actually have deeper connections with, rather than following thousands. I won't be able to have deep connections with thousands of people. I just won't. Not like that. So those people of valuable relationships I try to keep on there, and so my social media is used to keep those connections, and grow and learn like that.
Well, as you've been talking, we've had a couple really good questions come through on both chats. One of them, which I definitely don't want to miss, from Blem in Discord, is, from your perspective, what do you think is the main difference between someone with an art background making AI art versus someone who just started art in AI, considering that with the tool, it almost is kind of a level playing field because everything is so new?
Good question. Thank you. I think it really depends what you want to do. What do you want to do? What do you want to do with your life? Because if it is art, it's so broad. It's so broad. You can do, like, even me, I find that, I've just discovered image gen, and image gen's just got good, and then you can move the image, and now you can do video. It's like endless, right? So you need to have a focus. What is it that drives you? Why do you want to do it? Because it's always going to go back to that. It's always going to go back to why. Otherwise, you're going to go and explore all these different paths and do all this kind of stuff. And I've done it myself as well. You stayed up all night, made a bunch of stuff, and then it's almost like scrolling social media. It's like at the end of it, you have these cool images, but what are you going to do with them? I think that's what is the fundamental question, not just now, but anytime anything new has ever come out. When cameras or mobile phones came out, so what are you going to do with this tool? It's a tool. How are you going to use it?
Great answer. Going back to your inspiration, someone in Twitch asked if you are familiar with, I'm totally going to butcher this name, Bigzinski. Let me see here if I can copy this and put it in the Discord chat so you can see how it's spelled.
How do I excuse my newbiness, how do I open the chat?
Oh, if it's in the top right-hand corner, you should see a little chat bubble.
I think I got it, yeah.
I just pasted the name in there. Is that a name that you are familiar with?
I have not heard of this person.
Well, then
I'm gonna do a Google.
Yeah, definitely something we could probably pull up and see for.
Oh, nice. They're surreal. Who are they?
But no, so someone in Twitch just asked if you're familiar with their work based on the stuff that you do. But
interesting.
No, so where do you kind of see, like, I understand the stuff you're doing is therapeutic for you, and that should be the only reason why we need to do any of the stuff that we do, right? Have you been reached out to anyone to do kind of like the horror grotesque stuff in any type of professional or commercial manner in any way? And if not, do you think that there's like somewhere that falls into in the commercial world?
There's definitely areas that it can fall into the professional world. I want to get to the stage where I can make, I don't know if maybe the technology already exists. Maybe someone can tell me, but if I can make a character and be able to put bones in it and do a walk cycle, I am so after that moment where I'll be able to do that. I'm not aware of, because at the moment I can put it into Luma, for example, and it kind of moves, but I don't have control over it. So if we can get to that point, then we can make this work for games and films. And that's where I want to that's where I want to be. But like
the chat is saying that you need to learn Blender.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I think it's all these tools. It's like Cinema 4D, isn't it?
I mean, it's basically the free version of Cinema 4D, but Blender over the past couple of years has become a much more viable professional option. Whereas before, in terms of like 3D packages, it was considered like the hobbyist, and Cinema 4D was for the professionals. But I think Blender is quickly moving more into the professional landscape.
Nice. Okay. That's good. Can you take a texture that you make and then like how easy is it to make a character, like a really highly detailed character on there?
I think that it would definitely be a couple tutorials down the rabbit hole. But there are websites like Mixamo on Adobe, and then Spence, shout out to Spence, who's in the Discord right now, actually posted a link to this thing called Character Gen that it says efficient 3D character generation from single images.
Yeah, didn't somebody on one of our hangouts? I made like a meat guy, and somebody made it into 3D in 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, okay, yes, I remember that when we were doing our collaboration, someone turned the little goat thing into a 3D model.
Yeah, that's cool.
Someone in the Twitch chat asked if you could share a couple of your favorite things that you've made. Of course, the ones that are a little bit more on the safe side of the gray area.
Okay. This one.
One second here. There's someone I gotta mute in the stream. Where is that person? Sorry, brother. You are getting muted. Boom. Okay, we are good.
Okay, my channel is not loading. Let me show you my Instagram. Okay. Recently I made a film, a little short film. Oh, this is Sausage, by the way, who's eating my headphone wires.
Oh yeah, the chat has officially deemed your cat the third guest of the stream.
He's eating my clothes. I made this.
Wait, did you say his name is Sausage?
Sausage, yeah. His full name is actually what's his name? Chaos Romeo Bandipore or something like that. That's his actual name. I made this film in Runway, and this is from a poem by Jenny Joseph, and it's totally disgusting.
So I think it is absolutely shocking, even because you know that Runway is also like filtered to a degree, right? Like Runway doesn't allow like very NSFW stuff, and Runway is usually very good about their models. But the fact that you can even get stuff like this, I think is awesome, and it shows you guys just how much more imaginative we could be getting with our prompts in Gen 3 when we choose to play with that.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with it at the moment. This one was also made in Gen 3, and recently I've been making these guys. So I'll make a short film out of these. I've made so many. I think I've made nearly 400 now.
Where's Pixel Pusher? I think Pixel Pusher is in the Twitch stream.
Look at this.
Jeru, we need to get you and her on a collaboration together, because this fits too good with the stuff that you do.
Look at that. Can you see the areas around his mouth are melting, and the way that the holes open up? It's just so good. Yeah, so these are kind of my current obsession at the moment, and what I'm trying to get out of these prompts is that the face turns around and you see it morphing and changing. And I'm nearly there. Watch this space.
That is awesome in the most disturbing way possible.
I still find that a lot of them come out plasticky looking. You know how Midjourney was, and a lot of the models are.
Yeah, they have that very specific skin texture that you get from all the AI things. Oh, whoa.
Yeah. So this is one of my favorite. These are a few of my favorite things.
I'm trying to read the prompts as I'm watching the videos to just like see where your mind is going during it.
And this is a rabbit hole for sure. Yeah. A lot of my process is finding, if I have an idea of what I want, like a texture or some phobia or something, and then if I see something in the image that I want to expand upon, then I'll dive deeper into those words and see if I can bring out more of that element. So this is this one is around holes and maggots and bathrooms.
By the way, if you pull up the Discord chat real quick, or just look at my screen, one of the guys generated sausage in Stable Diffusion for you.
Made of sausage. He's so good. I've started taking him on walks now, and he loves it.
And Spence said he can smell these videos.
Yeah, that's another thing that I like. Are you familiar with synesthesia?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, for people that don't know what that is, why don't you go ahead and break it down?
Synesthesia is if you see a color, you can feel it, or if you see, or you can smell something. Like you just said that somebody can smell these. So, but it's visual, right? You can't even if you sniff the screen, you can't smell it, but you still know what it would smell like. That's what synesthesia is. And a lot of really brilliant creators have this. They have the ability to see colors or hear textures. And I think I have that to an extent. Like I'm able to make people feel things through my videos or images, and I love that. People have shared that with me as well. It's like they get feelings out of things that I make, and it's like, oh, I love that. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's kind of the key to, dare I say it, good art in any medium, right? Is like whether people have like a positive reaction to it or a visceral reaction to it or even a negative reaction to it. The fact that something you make can cause someone to like feel something so strongly to even react to it, I think is the mark of something really great.
And that's actually a good point that you raised there. When I started out, there was a lot of hate because it's AI and because it's new and scary and people don't understand it. I did get a lot of hate. People would send me really nasty comments actually from just because it's made by AI. And again, that's a sign of growth because you're now reaching people who are not normally your audience. But it did, I would get literally hundreds and hundreds of people saying your work is amazing and this stuff is, I just love seeing your things and please don't ever stop and things. So hundreds of people saying things like that, and it's like that's nice. And then you see this one comment that's like, no, you're horrible, and it's like, what? But I can't help it. You kind of focus in on this one comment. So you just kind of have to train yourself to see past that.
All right. Well, I got a little hack for you, and any of you guys in the stream watching this, feel free to take this one too. This was something I just started doing, but as our stuff grows and as our accounts grow and as people who wouldn't normally see our stuff get exposed to our stuff. And this goes for all of you guys. You can't, very rarely can you go viral or get any type of notoriety or grow in a positive way without there also being engagement from people that absolutely dislike your work. It's like both sides of that coin are needed for you to get the growth that's actually possible to grow. With that being said, here's the way that you can kind of like look at all that negative stuff a little differently. And now when I see a negative comment, because I do this, I look at it as, oh, perfect. I'm going to make this person work for me. So all the negative comments I get on Instagram now, every now and then I will pick one and actually engage with that person, but I make sure I'm very nice about it. Very nice. And then I take that back and forth and I just use that as Twitter content.
Yeah.
Like I'll just take a screenshot of it and just use that conversation as Twitter content, because if they're going to take the time to tell me how terrible my stuff is, I'm literally just going to repurpose them and make them work for me on an algorithm somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, I was definitely doing that. It does work because some people have all the time in the world to just comment back and have a rant at you, and they'll send paragraphs of comments. But yeah, that's another thing that one of my mentors said to me, is that it means it's a good thing. Like when you're getting hate, it's a good thing because of the clout.
I would definitely agree with that. But okay, so show us some of your favorite things from what you did before you just started getting into the videos, from from the image side of things, and maybe one of the just stuff before the videos that you really have been known for up to this point.
This one. So this is a collaboration with Insert Title 99.
Ooh. That
Again, anatomy. So a bunch of us got together and we'll pick a concept, find a good prompt, and then each of us would dig into it and make it our own.
Oh, go back to that one right before the fat. That ooh. That literally looks like an Elden Ring boss.
Cool, huh?
Yeah, no, someone in Twitch called out the gold contrast on some of those, and it actually looks really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah. The whole community is so warm and friendly and willing to share ideas and concepts and tips and how to do anything that you ask for. That's what I really found in this AI community.
Someone asked, how do you sleep at night after creating the things that you create and having to look at them for so long?
Do you know, honestly, I think I'm desensitized to it. I'm so I don't see it anymore. It's just so normal to me. I don't know if that's a good thing. Like this guy.
Here's an idea, because there's something that I was just thinking about as you were showing those heart ones. Like, I think the heartbeat ones, or the heart ones in particular, those would be really dope if you guys could figure out a way to actually get those turned into 3D and then 3D print them and sell those as sculptures.
Yeah. A friend of ours actually has a 3D printer. So you need to export it as an STL file. You need to make it into an STL file and then make it high resolution enough and then 3D print it. So it is possible, yeah. And then you need to have it painted.
That is actually something I think there's still a lot of room to be explored by everyone who's doing everything right now, especially with the sheer amount of people that are doing image generations, because still most of the community in AI are just purely generating images and not even so much on the video side is what does the next phase of this all look like, where the AI artwork gets turned into actual physical
pieces. Products.
Yeah.
Okay, again, my mind always goes towards games. So whether it's board games, so chess pieces, there's what is that? What is that game? Is it it's sort of like World of Warcraft, but on a board. But people make
Warhammer.
Is that the one?
The Warhammer 40K, yeah. Because they, like, what's his name, Henry Cavill from The Witcher and Superman and stuff. He paints the little figures, and then yeah.
I think that would be amazing to do that. You get them printed into little tiny figures. You can make a whole set of them, and people love that kind of thing. Again, it's like therapy. You're helping people through what you make. So, and the games industry is huge. So that's definitely one to watch or get into.
Someone in the chat actually just sent some images and said he printed this thing that was 10 inches tall.
Oh yeah.
Did that start as an AI generation custom, or was that just a Warhammer 40K thing? Because I think so. Like, obviously, there's going to be a lot of use cases for AI when it comes to like AR and VR, right? And like we're going to start seeing the crossover between the AI and creating like the digital worlds and like the metaverse and stuff. But I still want to see more of these AI pieces get turned into physical art pieces, just because of how surreal and like just that's the type of stuff that I would like to have on my desk or on my shelf or hanging on my wall. You know?
No, that's a really good. Yeah, there's always going to be a market for that. There's always going to be, like, painting's not going to go away. Sculpting is not going to go away. This is another way to get those ideas out of our brain very quickly.
Definitely agree. I'm just trying to see if there was a question up here I missed somewhere, because the chat has been chatting.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't miss anything. Okay, so what is do any of your friends in real life, like, you know, people that actually know about this smaller Instagram account you have? And if so, how have people reacted to the stuff that you make?
People I've known from way back kind of know about this because I've always been known as an artist, so they wouldn't be surprised. A lot of my more recent friends, like people that I've grown relationships with, have been because we want to make things together. My circle is very much, let's make something. What can we explore next? What can we learn? It's like that at the moment. And so, no, I don't think people would be surprised. There are very strong reactions, like Julian at Midjourney Man. Like, ugh, I hate them as holes. Like, there's that kind of thing. So people don't mind, don't hold back when it comes to giving me feedback about my stuff, which I like. Actually, it's fun. So, but that's kind of what I like about it. Like, that's the point of a lot of what I make, is to get some kind of response out of people. That's why I do it. So, no, I don't think people would be surprised. People have opinions, but isn't that why we make things and put it out into the world? Is because I don't think anyone really truly doesn't care what anyone else thinks. I don't think we could be in a society if we really didn't care what people think. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, no, and I would definitely agree with that. As much as I spend time on social media, and I have to have thick skin because of what I do professionally, and also just kind of where my hobby takes me. I'm usually very good at turning off the reading the negative opinions and letting it get to me. But sometimes, like you said, that one thing in the sea of all the amazing compliments and praise and everything, that one thing will just like pierce through the little chink in your armor and eat away at you. Yeah,
I think that comes with experience. I think social media is a good and a bad thing in a way that people's attention span is very tiny. Like you can do this. You can like go on live and mess it up so bad, and people won't remember in a week. No one will remember. And so therefore, just get out there and put it out there. Like let people say their thing and just keep doing it. It's practice. It's like training. You just have to keep doing it and show up on the days, especially when you don't want to show up, because those are the days that matter, and keep moving forward. It's the momentum. I think that's more important than anything. Those negative comments and even the positive comments, if you know what you want to do and the message that you're about, if you know what you're about, then it really doesn't matter what people have to say. And I think as well, it is important to have a strong group of close friends, like a supportive network around you. Because when that negativity comes to you, which it will, you've got people around you who will help to reframe your way of thinking and support you on your way.
I could not agree more. I think putting yourself out there as much as you can, and kind of like it's a muscle, right? Just like everything else, like the ability to always share the stuff that you make and be comfortable sharing it, even when it might be something that you don't think is the best. And I think for a lot of people that might listen to this or are listening to this or might watch it later on a YouTube video, right? Hearing people who mostly work with AI now talk in this way, I think would be very polarizing for a lot of people that don't think that, what we do has any significant artistic value whatsoever, because the way that we feel about this is very like, no, we are creating something, and whether you think it's unique or not, we know it is, and maybe if it's not right now, it has the ability to be in the future. But yeah, no, I think what you just said is kind of a perfect place for us to wrap it up on. Why don't you go ahead, since there are a lot more people in Twitch now and on Discord now, go ahead and remind everyone where they can find you and where they can follow you and what both of your accounts names are so that people can keep up with you.
Sure. So if you want to see more of the gore and the horror and the beautiful and the ugly, go to Lola.Viscera on Instagram. Very active on there. And if you like the landscapes and the interior design and the piece, the light side, I guess, then go to Lolite Artwork, also on Instagram.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to put that one in the chat as well. Lolite Artwork. Boom. And I will get that one in the Twitch as well. And then, even though I feel like the last thing you said was kind of a perfect ending message for everyone, there are a lot of people in here that do this just as a hobby and for fun, and maybe don't share it so much, or they're just kind of like starting with sharing their work on social media and they haven't quite seen that traction yet. So, and we all know that when we're starting, if we're like trying to get a little bit of notoriety, and when you're just starting out, it's really hard, right, to build the momentum. But once you do, then obviously it becomes much easier. What advice would you have for anyone that is just starting to put their work and put themselves out there?
Advice, again, it's personal down to the individual. I would ask you, why are you putting it on social media in the first place? If it is for yourself and if you're doing it for fun, then there's really no need to invite the opinions of people that you don't know, because that could shape what you do and it could shape your decisions. It's very early for you to be sharing on social media or anywhere if you're figuring it out yourself. If you're doing it, if you're doing it in order to grow a career or grow a notoriety, like you say, on social media, then there needs to be a strategy behind doing that. I think if we just keep posting and we don't really know what we're doing on social media, then it could become a case of, it could become demotivating. It could put you off doing it, because it can be, like you say, like, as someone who got experience growing an account, I'm now starting another account, and it's like getting that momentum is taking, it's taking quite a push to get that momentum to grow that account now. And I've already got experience in doing that with another one, and I'm still telling you it's hard. It's hard, especially now, like, that Meta's got all these rules of what you can put out and what you can say and stuff like that. So, yeah, I would ask you why you want to share it. Like, do you really want people telling you what they think of your work? That's my advice.
And
it's like, I guess when I'm sorry to cut you off there, Tyler.
No, please.
When I'm drawing something, like when I'm drawing by hand, I don't want people telling me what they think when I'm in the middle of a drawing. That's not helping me. Like, let me just finish it. Let me get it to a point where I think it's good enough to show someone. And now it's like, I'm asking you, what do you think? But I don't want your opinion when I'm just like in the middle of it. That's how I feel about it. Thank you for listening.
No, and I think that is great advice. As I kind of always like to say as well, it all comes down to, what are you trying to say with the stuff that you make, and where does your voice feel present in the stuff that you put out and you share with
What's
everyone? Doesn't matter what medium you use to create anything in. What are you trying to say, and are you putting that out in a way that people can actually hear what you're trying to say? And if not, is their interpretation at least something that makes them feel anything from what you're trying to say? So no, Lola, absolutely a pleasure as always. We are definitely going to circle back with you in a couple months and have you on again. Just judging by how active the chat has been and whatnot, I think this was great. I'm really stoked that you came on. Guys, please make sure you go and follow her. It's only going to get better as her account grows, and as she starts branching out into other tools, which she already is, because her Runway Gen 3 stuff is absolutely wild. I think she should have submitted something to Project Odyssey, but I think she probably didn't know about it early enough.
I didn't know.
Because that's actually been a question a few people have asked, is have you submitted something to Project Odyssey?
Oh, no, I didn't know about it.
I'm going to make sure she stays a little bit more tuned in with everything that we're doing. But no, Lola, thank you so much. You are a legend. Guys, go follow her on both of her Instagrams. One of them will give you all the bright fuzzies from all the beautiful landscapes and stuff that she makes. And the other one will make it difficult for you to sleep. So you need both sides to the coin to have a healthy, balanced life.
Thank you so much, Tyler.
Yeah, and guys, with that, we are good. If you give me just a moment here, let me just give a little shout out for who is going to be on next week. Yeah, guys, next Friday, we're going to have Lovis on. And if you don't know Lovis, you can go search him up on Twitter, Lovis. Lovis does really incredible work with 3D in Comfy UI. And I know whatever he shows us is going to blow our minds. I had the pleasure of meeting him in San Francisco at the Comfy UI Thought Leadership Conference the other month. And mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. Lola, thank you so much. Twitch, Thank you guys. This has been a Civitai guest creator stream. My name is Tyler. You just spent an hour with Lola Viscera. Go follow her on her socials. We will be back on Monday with Ali and his office hours. I saw a couple of you guys asking questions about the site in the chat. Come back on Monday and Ali can answer all those questions and inquiries for you guys. Have a great weekend, everybody. We are out. Peace. Give me just a second, Lola. Boom, boom, boom.